Right. Over the last couple of weeks, um, I've been looking at what other people are doing a little bit more as regards increasing the effectiveness of what they're doing. Now, we increase the effectiveness of what we do with the likes of players and pressure points, as you know. So I've been having a look round and seeing what people are putting into their art. Now, I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some BJJ guys who are incorporating catch and stuff like that into their BJJ, which is fantastic. I've got all the time in the world for people who are trying to improve what they're doing. And these guys seem very, very open-minded and very much into increasing the knowledge and expertise that they have and passing it on to other people. So massive kudos to those guys for that. Now here's the bit that surprised me. Many, many years ago now, when it came to various aspects of grappling and things like that, we don't pretend to be any good at grappling, but we understand the body and how it works. We can handle ourselves, but we don't pretend to be what we're not. But when we look at certain techniques, we know how to improve it for people. So as a coach, I can look at what somebody's doing and generally improve it dramatically by the addition of players and points. And anyway, cut a long and incredibly boring story short, we're looking at what people were doing several years ago, and we said, well, hold on, there's points here that you could use, there's points there that you could use. And as is always the way, loads of people go, that wouldn't work in a real fight, that wouldn't work against a grappler, we're too tough and all this sort of stuff. Okay, whatever. So we just left it alone, left them to it, because no point in flogging a dead horse, so to speak. Anyway, I'm checking out these guys, again, massive kudos to them for improving what they're doing. And they've just discovered some of these points that we were telling them to use 12, 13, 14 years ago. And they've just discovered them, only in the last sort of like 6 months or so. Now, my point here is that I'm really pleased that these guys have done it. But my real point with this is that if these people are the type of people, and they are, that are genuinely looking to improve what they're doing, they're out there finding ways to improve it, and it's taken them this long to find things like catch stuff and points and players. If it's taken these people with that attitude of improvement and passing on this improvement, passing on this knowledge, they're really dedicated guys. I must hand it to them. They're amazingly dedicated people. If it's taken them that long to figure out, to understand these improvements that we've been telling people for years, how long does it take some blinkered, I'm going to say karate guy because my background, how long is it going to take some blinkered karate instructor to improve what they're doing? Answer, who knows, forever. Because if it's taken people with a genuine desire to improve, if it's taken them that long, it's going to take the karate guy or whatever ages, forever, maybe never. So my point here is, what we're teaching, what we're saying with players and points and stuff like that, it works, okay? Now there's some BJJ guys, MMA guys, just discovering it. So the information's getting out there now, and obviously they've got a big following, so there's going to be a lot more people. So they say, well, it's been in this art all the time. Well, yeah, it has. It just hasn't been utilised. It's been rediscovered, if you like. Because, as you may know, you know, a lot of the techniques that we see today that are suddenly described as brand new techniques or something like that. If you look at some old jiu-jitsu books and things like that, which I've seen, I've actually got one here, it's showing a lot of these techniques from 1910, 1920. So they were at least around then. And they were around a long time before then, I can assure you of that. So there's nothing so much new, there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be rediscovered. And thankfully, with the growth of the internet and things like that, and people's desire to learn more, which is fantastic in the martial arts, there's a lot more stuff being rediscovered. So I've noticed lately that there's a lot of catch guys out there really pushing it now and really bringing back all the stuff that's been forgotten, lost, and is now, like I say, being rediscovered. And they're putting it into their art and they're helping other people with it, which is absolutely fantastic. It's what we've been advocating for years. We help people to improve what they're doing, and that's what we can do with the likes of players of the game and pressure points. They will make a massive improvement to what you're currently doing. We don't pretend that we can teach you to do some leg lock better than a catch guy or a BJJ guy can teach you. But when they've shown you how to do the lock, or whatever it may be, we can show you ways to improve what's already there. Okay, and that's the key with what we do, is this improvement. Okay, I've said many times that pressure points are the last 5% of any given technique, and this is a good example of what I mean by it. You take a tried, trusted, proven technique and then improve it. So you make it as good as it can possibly be, and you do that with the addition of players and points, and that's what makes it all work. That is what makes your technique massively better than it was before. And that's not to say that the technique didn't work before. Of course it does. Okay? Of course it does. But you want a technique that works even better. You want one that, to make work, you don't need to use as much strength. That's not to say you don't use strength when the need arises. Don't misunderstand that point. Okay? Your technique should be that good that you can reduce the strength and increase the effectiveness. So that when you come to actually need to use it, when you come to pressure test it, when you come to use it in a real fight, you whack the strength back in, of course. All right? No one's ever saying don't use strength. But what we're saying is, if strength is used instead of technique, there's a very good chance that that will fail you when you need to use it. If your technique is that good that you can reduce the strength dramatically, then when you need to use it and you're using your strength, it will have much, much less chance of failure. You'll have a much higher success rate. And that's what we're after doing for you. Helping you to take a technique, reduce the strength and power that you need to make it work, massively increase the effectiveness of it, and then, when you need it, of course, you're going to put your power back in. Okay? And that is what players and pressure points is all about. That's how we increase the effectiveness of what you're doing. Okay? It's not a substitution for anything. It's an addition to that which you already know. And that's what we've been saying to people for years and years and years. And it's something that many people misunderstand. Okay? I'm going to say it one more time to make it absolutely clear. It's an addition to that which you already know. So once you've got a technique good, we will make it better for you. Once you've got a really good technique, we'll make it even better for you. Okay? And that's what we do. Anyway, that's enough for now. I've gone on far too long, and see you next time.